Have you ever felt as if faith was taking longer than you expected and wondered whether wandering still counts as part of the journey? Hello, friends, and welcome to week 4 of Scripture for the Journey, the Bible in a Year. Today I'm going to be reviewing the book of Numbers. Numbers is a book about the long middle. It tells the story of what happens after freedom, but before fulfillment. The people have been delivered from slavery in Egypt, and they've received God's law, and God dwells among them. Yet they're not yet where they're going. Numbers lives in that in-between space that many of us know very well. It's the space between promise and arrival. The book gets its name from two censuses taken at the beginning and near the end of the journey. These numbers are not just statistics. They mark generations. One generation leaves Egypt, another prepares to enter the promised land. And Numbers reminds us that faith is not only about individuals, but about communities and the passage of time. At the start of Numbers, the people are organized, prepared, and hopeful. God gives instructions for movement, leadership, and care. There's a sense that the journey should be straightforward. Yet almost immediately, fear and frustration rise to the surface. Hunger, uncertainty, and exhaustion test the people's trust. The wilderness becomes a place where faith is refined, challenged, and sometimes resisted. One of the central themes of Numbers is complaint. The people grumble about food, leadership, and direction. They look back on Egypt with selective memory, forgetting the pain of slavery and remembering only what felt familiar. Numbers is honest about how quickly fear can distort perspective. Freedom is a gift, but it also requires responsibility. And change is hard, even when it's necessary. Moses, too, feels the weight of leadership in this book. He carries the frustration of the people and the burden of responsibility. Numbers shows us that leaders are not immune to discouragement. Moses struggles, he prays, and even fails, yet God continues to work through him. This book reminds us that leadership in faith is rarely glamorous. It's often marked by patience, endurance, and deep reliance on God. One of the most significant moments in Numbers occurs when spies are sent to explore the Promised Land. They see abundance, but they also see obstacles. Fear overtakes faith, and the people refuse to move forward. This moment becomes a turning point. Because of fear and lack of trust, the journey is extended. What could have been short becomes very long. Numbers teaches us that disbelief has consequences, not as punishment, but as the natural result of fear guiding decisions. Yet even in extended wandering, God does not abandon the people. God provides food, water, guidance, and protection. A pillar of cloud and fire continues to lead them. Numbers makes it clear that wandering is not the same as being lost. God remains present, even when progress feels slow or uncertain. The wilderness also becomes a place of growth. The new leaders emerge, lessons are learned, a new generation rises, shaped by experience rather than memory of Egypt. Numbers reminds us that God's timing often involves preparation we can't yet see. Growth happens even when the path feels repetitive. There are moments of surprising grace in Numbers. A talking donkey speaks truth when a prophet can't see it. Outsiders offer unexpected wisdom. God's blessing breaks through unlikely voices. These stories remind us that God is not limited by human expectations. Even in the wilderness, God's voice finds a way to be heard. Toward the end of the book, the tone begins to shift. The people stand once again on the edge of the promised land. This time they're older, wiser, and more aware of their dependence on God. The failures of the past are remembered, not to shame, but to instruct. And Numbers prepares the people for what comes next by helping them understand where they've been. Numbers tells us that faith journeys are rarely direct. Detours happen, mistakes are made, doubt shows up, but God's faithfulness does not waver. The wilderness is not wasted space. It's often where trust is built, character is formed, and hearts are shaped. For us today, Numbers invites reflection on our own seasons of waiting and wandering. Where have you felt stuck between what was and what will be? Where has fear slowed your progress? Where might God be working quietly, even when the scenery feels unchanged? Numbers reminds us that God is present not only at the beginning and the destination, but every step in between. The journey matters, the lessons matter, and the people we become along the way matter deeply to God. Next week, we're going to turn to Deuteronomy, where Moses reflects on the journey and reminds the people of who God is and who they are called to be. But for now, Numbers invites us to hold on to this truth. Wandering does not mean God has left you behind. It often means God is still shaping you for what comes next. Friends, if this journey through Scripture is meaningful to you, I invite you to like this video, share it with someone who might appreciate it, and leave a comment letting me know what stood out to you today. And be sure to follow or subscribe so you can walk through all 66 books of the Bible with us, 1 week at a time. God bless you, my friends, today and always.